All join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, thanks. It's good to see just about everybody. It's hard to believe that I guess summer is almost officially over. Wasn't the best summer, that's to be sure, but life marches on. We actually have two historical meeting minutes. I think Rob did a good job and Brian did a good job of capturing them all. I think they've all been sent out to you for your review. I will entertain a motion to approve the June 15th and August 17th minutes as written.
So moved.
Bob, second. Paul, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes unanimously. David, I see you on my screen twice. Once is muted. Neither has video, but we will entertain the VSO report if you are so inclined. And if you're not, we will wait until you outsmart the technology.
Okay, could I just jump in for a minute?
Certainly.
Lois Benjamin, my wife, has been assigned by the Commission on Disabilities.
Can you hear me now?
So she's going to be jumping in on the
I'm
meetings, just
trying this with my phone, so.
I'm sorry, Dan, you were saying?
yeah, Lois Benjamin on the Commission on Disabilities will be a liaison between her board or committee to the Veterans Advisory Board. And she'll be just listening in if she can help in any way as far as disabilities or accessibility, ADA issues. She'll bring them back to the Wakefield Commission.
Or, and I would likewise hope that if there is anything that she can bring from their board to ours, we would certainly welcome. Okay. David, how you doing with that technology?
I've got my phone here. Can you see me on the phone?
Yes, and I can hear you.
I can't hear any of you though. I'm trying to get the volume right. Is that any better?
Your video is kind of choppy, but I can hear you fine. Now you just popped up again. The one that just
Yeah,
popped up is
I've got
muted.
both my phone and my computer here.
You may get into
I
some
don't know
problems.
why it can't be heard. Yeah, I've got both.
I think you get feedback with both
I
on.
don't know why.
Yeah, and if he's gonna have both of them on, it's probably gonna
Yeah.
narrow, it's gonna
Yeah.
cause more problems if with both of them, as
Yeah.
opposed to just having one feed.
I'm shutting off the other one. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. I don't know what's going on with my internet. It's been terrible. I'm gonna have to call on.
Well, that's
Give me a
what you
minute.
get for living on the west side of Wakefield.
Now.
I know. It's my own fault. It's my own fault. I don't know why I can't hear any of you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Let me try something here. All right, let me put the phone down. There. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
internet, guys. I'll try. Jay, I sent you guys a copy of this.
Yeah, if you're sending it, well, you're kind of winking out again. If you're sending it by email, maybe try sending it to both my work and home email if you can. But if you send it to work, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
No. Hey, David, with your permission, I will read the VSO report because you seem to be stuck in another world. The 9/11 remembrance at the Veterans Common was received well by the community, honoring the first responders and the thousands of participants who came to assist in the recovery efforts, as well as all those who perished on that fateful day. Sponsorships opportunities regarding the Vietnam era veterans roll to Washington next year in September to visit the memorials and the wall will be coming soon as the committee prepares to send out donor cards and information regarding the process for applications. Wakefield Veterans Monthly Food Bank continues through the summer months and in collaboration with the Wakefield Food Bank and the Greater Boston Food Bank. The 19 recipients are very grateful. The Chapter 115 program has been lowered by 2 recipients who have now received VA compensation substantial enough to no longer require the assistance of Chapter 115. And again, members, if if you know anybody, refer them to your local VSO. There's been several requests for folks seeking their DD 214 discharge papers over the summer and have had little success from the Military Records Center in St. Louis as they are still processing burial benefits that has been the priority. They have, however, merged the National Guard and Reserve discharge documents to the Milton facility. However, the only way to get them is to call. If anyone should need this service, they should contact Dave. Still looking for the DD 214 for parents of a Marine veteran who lives in Maine, whose son was interned in Puritan Lawn. Faxed and reached out. Contacted Seth Moulton's office, and they're going to expedite this search and contact the family in Maine. There's a homeless veteran reach out to Dave's office during the summer, who Dave placed with the SAVE team and the West Roxbury VA for further care. COVID booster shots at the VA have not as yet been authorized, but we'll keep a watchful eye to let our veterans know when they are available. The Office of the Adjutant General sent a notice that service-connected death due to Agent Orange will no longer receive the Medal of Liberty offered to Massachusetts veterans, but they will be developing a Medal of Valor for those who qualify. We have had several aid and attendance applications come through the office and one that got approved for a pension. It's not a large sum of money, but it helps offset the cost. And then, in the future, aid and attendance will be one of the programs that we'll go through in a little bit greater detail just to make sure that everyone on this board has at least a rudimentary knowledge of this particular benefit, should anybody reach out to you. We'll forward Dave's report to all attendees, and it'll also be included in the in the minutes from tonight's meetings. Okay. Given that, I will make a motion to accept Dave's report as read. We have a second.
Second.
Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. I just got a text from Sean saying he has three back-to-back school Zoom calls in an hour, matter of hours, so he won't be able to make it. So I think we have everybody accounted for at this point. Okay. Veterans Corner article. I think we're going to have a number of Veterans Corner articles coming out in the next few weeks. And I will certainly entertain any additional ones. And I think most of them will pertain to the programs that we have upcoming. I'm going to try to put something together in the next day to promote the, if I get my act together, I'll put all of the projects in this article, but I certainly want to get the one about the veterans banners out there as soon as possible. I've contacted Town Administrator Mayo's office. He wants us to push forward with the banner project. Going through the square today, I noticed that the Fallen Heroes banners are back up there. I honestly don't know when they were put back up. I think what they did, I could be wrong, is they took the students' ones down and put the Fallen Heroes and the Veterans filler banners back up. So I think what we had discussed was reaching out to veterans, families of veterans, etc., in the town of Wakefield, and asking them to submit photos, little bios, whatever have you, of their veterans, so that we can make banners for Veterans Day. So I'm anticipating that we're only going to have about a month to pull together some sort of content, and it may not be all inclusive. Again, we're going to have to draw a line in the sand. I need to get feedback from the T-Stop, who is going to make the banners, again, on what their lead time would be. Veterans Day is what day of the week? It's a Thursday. So if you back it off, I'm assuming the DPW is going to probably need a week or so heads up to get the banners up. And so then we're kind of at the beginning of November. The last time, I think it took at least a couple of weeks for the T-Stop to get the Fallen Heroes banners put together. So I think if we get something in the paper and I'm going to have to get a deadline from the T-Stop before I put this in there. So, let's say conceptually, we give people until October 15th or October 15th is a Friday. And, deadline for submissions is October 15th of submissions to have banners made. I sent out a thing earlier today showing you what York, Maine does with their veterans, which is not unusual. I've seen a few others in different states where they have a veteran on a banner. In York, I think they show the conflict and the veterans age. So one of the things we're going to have to work on, or we can agree, take this kind of out of order and settle it tonight, if we can come up with some good data. I'm kind of assuming that, based on what we're going to get, we may have banners with 1, 2, 4 people on them. And, the ones that we had for Memorial Day, what did it say? Wakefield's Heroes. what would we want the veterans banners to say? Wakefield Veterans, Wakefield Heroes. You know, I think I made my feelings known on the notion of heroes during the last meeting. I don't think anybody on this screen that I'm looking at would consider themselves a hero. In speaking with Medal of Honor recipients, to a man, none of them consider themselves heroes.
Right,
The heroes are the ones that didn't come home.
Right.
So,
right.
I like
mean,
Wakefield veterans.
you know,
Yeah,
again,
agree.
I always want to try to keep it simple.
Yep.
And if we say Wakefield veterans,
Right,
and again, if each veteran gets a banner, we can have name, branch of service, and conflict, if any, or just name, branch of service. I really don't think we need to go with age. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything.
Yeah, please,
Um,
please don't go with age.
Well, I think for most of us, it would probably be age then, not age now. I know I'd be in favor of that in any case.
I think I can be heard now.
So Wakefield veterans, good?
Yeah.
Do we want to include conflict, if any? How do
If
we
there
feel about
is.
that? I'm sorry?
So I think you should, if there is a conflict.
Yep,
Branch of
I'm fine with
service should
that.
be served.
Yep.
And conflict
say-
of any.
Did you say rank too? Name, rank, service?
Right.
There you go. Name,
Right,
rank,
or
service.
even, yeah,
Conflict.
and if you don't have, if there's no conflict, if you wanted another thing to add, you could maybe even give, their, what they call it in the Army, the MOD, I forget what they call it in the Air Force, what,
Your MOS.
whatever your job was. or their job-
Yeah, it's MOS.
Yeah,
Cannon, cocker, tanker.
law enforcement specialist.
Yeah, right. Okay. I
I
have
did-
a reach out to T-Stop. I hope to be able to get some definition from them tomorrow on a time hack for this. And then we can let our publicity, we can drive our publicity from there, okay? Dave, are you okay with me saying, send any information to, well, we can put your office if they're sending like photos. Then
Yes.
then we're probably gonna have to have those scanned. And we can also put the Veteran Advisory Board email address for them to send things to.
Yeah, Jay, they can send them to me and I can scan them back to the rest of the committee.
Okay.
Would you like it in like clothing, like army, rather than a civilian clothing?
Well, I would like to start with everyone that's on this screen. The last picture I have of myself in a uniform is from Memorial Day a few years ago, if that's what I would use. I would certainly hope that everybody on this committee, Marion, your husband, would submit something. And again, I don't care if it was taken last week or in 1969. You know what I mean?
pretty
I think
much.
the purpose of it is to highlight your service and, bring the public's attention to the veterans that we have in town.
I'm just thinking of, the picture you got in basic there with the flag in the background and
Yeah,
you Class A uniform. I think most people have that, or I have it somewhere laying around.
I have it, but I'm never showing it again.
that's the only one I can get my hands on. But come on now, we have to see it.
Well, you know, and to be fair, you know, a lot of the pictures that you see on the banners or on the wall down at the Galvin, I mean, some of them are probably boot camp pictures or graduation pictures
Yeah.
or whatever have you. Again, you know, it's, you know, the date and the, you know, of the date of the picture is, at least for me, less important than the fact that you folks served. And that's what we want to highlight. Folks in our community, you know, just like the book that we gave out to the schools some years ago that pointed the fact out that the veteran can be the postman, the policeman, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, the guy that lives next door to you, and you may not even know it.
Right.
So, so Wakefield veterans, name, rank, service, conflict, etc. And again, I'll reach out to the T-Stop. Hopefully they get back to me tomorrow and we can back onto the timeline going forward.
Jay, this is
Okay.
Jackie. I owe you a article from June that I wasn't able to do, so I'm happy to work on this with
Yeah,
whomever.
okay. Okay. Thank you. Anything else on the banners? Certainly more to follow on this and everything. Okay. So I kind of smashed together the Veterans Corner article and the banners program.
Yep.
You know, and again, I think, you know, we need to put on our, you know, honey-do list for the Veterans Corner, and it doesn't have to be monthly. It can certainly be more frequent. You know, I tried to get something in the item for, what was it? POWMIA Day, and it didn't make it. You know, they had just too much content. And to be fair, I didn't get it in until the night before, day of. So, you know, they're usually very good at trying to shoehorn things in for us. So, I mean, on, you know, the laundry list of things that we can put in a Veterans Corner is getting longer and longer. You know, Chapter 115, the discount program, women veterans, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe we should think about getting a running list together and, you know, assign content to people so that we can just keep this out there in front of folks.
That's a good idea.
Okay. Anything else on Veterans Corner or the banner?
Hey, Jay, just one point. Veteran benefits and those that own property in Wakefield have a benefit that they can, we might want to remind them that they have a reduction for property tax. Okay. Here in
Disabled
Wakefield,
veterans only.
for disabled vets,
Yeah.
I think it's 20% or more, but
Yeah.
that's a benefit that everybody's earned.
Yep. And in Wakefield, town meeting in Wakefield voted to approve a couple of other categories, 22G and H, and we can certainly highlight all of those. And we can run them by the assessor's office just to make sure that we're not leading anybody astray. But I certainly think it's in Wakefield, you can start putting in for your exemption in July.
July.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
July.
I don't know what the drop dead date is. I'll have to find that out. I'll reach out to Mr. Santiello to see.
Yeah,
what deal
the
is.
other piece of information that they may be able to give us is how many disabled veterans are taking advantage of that program. That would be
Yeah.
useful information for Dave and all of us to know.
Yeah, I know the town of Saugus gave me those data. You know, and we can certainly see if we can get that from the Wakefield. I'll reach out to Mr. Santana Yellow also. Yeah, but that could certainly be another article, no doubt about that.
It should also probably include the Gold Star families, Gold Star spouses, that if they qualify, are eligible to be property tax exempt.
Yeah, we'll
We
get
don't
the,
pay property
we'll get the
tax. That should be
background
part of it,
information
too.
on that also.
Yeah.
Because, to be perfectly honest, I was unaware of all the categories that Gold Star families, wives, etc., can fall into until I got my current job. I thought it was just, guys or gals that get killed in action. I was unaware of all of the other categories that folks
Some
could
of them
fall
have
into.
just come up in the past few years, and some of them have been there for a long time, so.
Yeah. Definitely good content on that. Okay. Now, Veterans Day. Contacted Mr. Mayo. Mr. Mayo is of the opinion as of today that we should be able to hold a Veterans Day ceremony at the Galvin, inside the Galvin. I guess we'll have to figure out masks, etc. At some point in the future. And of course, that could all change too. And so we're going to have to start planning that. Good, bad, or indifferent, I will not be in the country on Veterans Day. I will certainly be more than willing to help with the planning, etc. But we're going to have to come up with a master of ceremonies, etc., etc. And not 10 minutes ago, I think we successfully locked on a guest speaker, which is generally one of the most difficult things that we have to do. You may remember Tommy Lyons was on our call back in the spring. I constantly sing Tommy's praises at the risk of embarrassing him. But, he just recently finished at least his second stint as chairperson for the annual Medal of Honor convention, which was recently held in Boston.
Yeah.
Of course, he's the driving force behind the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in South Boston, which just celebrated, I think, their 25th anniversary last Sunday, a week ago Sunday. And like I said, not 15, 20 minutes ago, he agreed to be our guest speaker. So the rest of it's kind of gravy. Mr. Mayo recommended that I run the school type of activities through Mr. Bankard, who runs the music program. I don't know what he's going to be able to do, but that's still to be determined. At least to this point, I think we're kind of ahead of the game, because usually we're scrambling to come up with a guest speaker. But like I said, we're also going to have to come up with a master of ceremonies, or however you refer to the person who kind of runs the entire program, because I will not be here. Probably poor planning on my part, but I had a limited window to get something done, and like I said, I'm going to be out of the country. So
You deserve it, right? You deserve it.
I'm going to see about musical groups. Generally, in the past, Honeydew, Derek Robinson has provided coffee and for the collation afterwards. And again, as we move forward, we'll have to find out whether any of this stuff will be limited. Will we be able to have a collation afterwards? We'll figure that out. I think, we've got, a good 6 weeks to get all these details hammered out. And by the October meeting, we'll need to have it all finalized, and we'll work on it. In the meantime, the October meeting will be October 19th, which will still give us, 4 good weeks before Veterans Day itself. Okay?
Yep.
Anything else on Veterans Day? No? Okay. coffee social. For those who weren't around on August 17th, we had a discussion about having the coffee socials, when we have the coffee socials, etc. I think you saw it captured in the meeting that we at least decided to move the initial meeting back to October. And I believe that we also decided that from the outset, we would have them quarterly. Have I captured all that right? October start possible, and then quarterly? Okay. So where do we go from here? Are we still of a mind to have them?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, sounds good. So open issue, we'll have to get in touch with Quantum Powered Yacht Club to see what they can support, if they're still of a mind to do so. Christy, are you able to reach out to your contact down there?
I absolutely can. As soon as I hang up, I'll reach out to Bonnie.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then, we'll put together some publicity around that. I did get an email from Eric Jetter, who helped us set these up the last time we ran them. I responded to his email, but I haven't heard back from him. So I'm not sure whether he heard it through the grapevine we were going to start these again, and what he was going to offer. So I'll reach out to him again to see. So depending on when in October, do we have a particular date in October that we would like to ask Quantipower, over and above what their schedule will
I think
support?
we asked for the second Saturday of every month.
So
And
that would
that's
be
what they have us penciled down for.
So that would be
Oh,
October 9th.
Yes.
Okay. So October 9th.
Well,
Do
that's
we
only like
want-
3 weeks away.
Yeah, I know. Do we want to have it just a general introduction? Do we want to go to have a small presentation, perhaps on veterans benefits? We could cover property tax exemptions. We could cover Chapter 115, aid and attendance, and service-connected disabilities, or whatever other activities that the Veterans Service Office provides. Sound reasonable?
Sure, I think that's a good idea, because I could encapsulate all three of those, Jay,
Okay,
into an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, 10 minutes.
That's
No,
a
I
great
mean,
way to start.
David?
because even if we just talk to it and then we have some handouts,
Right,
talk at a high level, answer any questions, and then we can move on from there. And we can always drill down into some of these discussions in future sessions. That won't be a problem.
Hey, David,
yes,
could you add on education also to that list?
Educational benefits.
Yes.
Because, it would certainly be nice to get some of the post 9/11 generation
Yeah.
coming to these
Yeah.
things. I mean,
there's a website also that has all those education benefits at Mass.gov. I could pull up some information and print out 15 or 20 copies of it and have them available.
awesome.
And Jay, I spoke
ma'am.
to Derek at Honeydew, and he's on board with doing the coffee and donuts for the socials.
He's never failed us,
Nope.
just like John Kennedy before him. Never failed us.
He's a nice kid.
Kid indeed. Cool. You know, do we want to have somebody from the board in charge of the coffee social program?
What does that mean?
Somebody that's going to drive the bus, somebody that's going to
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
somebody that's
could-
going to figure out what the content is going to be. Make sure we
Chairperson.
have the logistics locked on. As I've been on record, it ain't going to be me.
I'll offer to work with someone.
Yeah, I mean, I envision it, any of these projects as being a team, if you know what I mean. It's not going to be a one-person show. Some of them may be, but you know, there are a lot of logistics to some of these things, and you know, we have a couple, 3 people doing it. I think we'll be better off.
I could do that. I do that sort of for a living anyway. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll help out as well.
Yeah, I can
Thanks,
help
Mike.
out as well.
And
I'll
I'll
grab the
provide
coffee and
Make us
refreshments
the
every
committee.
week.
Yeah, you
So
can
we
tell.
have-
There you go.
We have Mike, Jackie, David, and Christie.
And I'm gonna grab the
Bingo.
coffee and refreshments when we need them on those Saturdays. I'll grab
Yep.
that.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
we're going to do it quarterly though, right? Did we say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Out of the gate, we'll stick with quarterly. And if we think that
See.
there's a lot of traction and we need to do them more frequently, I guess we could certainly change it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I won't be home for the first one, but I wonder if sometime during that program, we want to just reach out to whoever is there and ask them what they would like to hear, what they would like to would ask to bring to them on these socials, but you know, the
Yep.
information that they're really looking for.
No
That
doubt.
would give you a one-up for the program for each
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no doubt at all.
Yeah,
Perfect.
and I'll help out when I get back, Jack, but not for this one.
The next one will be when? January?
Yeah,
Yeah.
November, December, January, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. On to the Veterans Field Memorial Project, as we called it, whether that's the formal name, who knows? I discussed it recently with Mr. Mayo and Mr. Fazio. They're both on board. They both endorse the matter. As we move forward, Mr. Fazio certainly has some thoughts about the gardening, if you will, and the maintenance of it. You know, it would kind of be awesome, you know, as we move forward, if we could get the garden club to take over the maintenance of the plantings, because I think bless you.
That's you.
That's true.
Excuse me.
Did I share the proposal that Dan brought forward with everybody? Has everyone seen that?
Yep,
I think we saw it.
Okay.
yeah, you
Um,
did.
Yeah, so, you know, as you saw, you know, it was, you know, a nice sign with some plantings. I think we had kind of envisioned in the center field area, of course, outside the fence, not inside the fence, where there's a flagpole already. You know, Mr. Fazio was a little concerned about where all the snow gets dumped during the winter. I kind of think that's more towards the North and Church intersection rather than, you know, up Church a little bit, but I'm not certain. We can iron that out as we move forward. You know, as Dan has mentioned in the past, he had a very generous benefactor who was willing to put up monies for the project. You know, I didn't get the impression that we were going to have to go through town council, et cetera. We could certainly apprise them of the fact as we move forward.
I think
But-
it might be it might be nice just to have some kind of a meeting with town council, just to tell them what we're doing.
Oh, no doubt.
I had talked to Maureen Butt for breakfast the other day, and I gave her the picture of the concept of the
Yeah.
sign and the history behind it.
Yeah.
And I had wondered if we'd have to go to the, what do they call it, benches and structures committee, and
Yeah.
she's so.
Yeah.
But she seems like she's, with the project, and I don't
Yeah.
see anybody would be against it anyway.
No,
No.
no.
Something that's 80 years long overdue.
And, speaking for myself, Dan, I think it's entirely appropriate that you head up this project. Know what I mean?
I certainly will.
There you go. So it is written, so it shall be done.
Chairman Dan.
So,
I think it might be nice that we have like a little subcommittee off of this to look into that. And, I know Brian Montgomery had expressed interest in it. If anybody else would
Okay.
like.
Hey, Dan, I got one question for you. It's kind of logistics. Is there, on that memorial, is there going to be electricity or light on the sign?
I think it probably would go by cost. If we can get it in under a certain price, maybe, the better will. I had talked with Sardella Signs, and he's the guy that came up with the concept on it. If we can light it up at night, why not? But we'll see. I know there's a lot in that little area there. There's a fire alarm box, the flagpole. There's quite a bit of stuff right there. So we'll see. And I was thinking also, if we can get it in under cost, possibly putting a little stone there saying something too.
All right, so we have Dan and Brian on the project. Anyone else want to?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Joe, okay. Thank you very much. And again, as we move forward, if anyone else wants to jump in, I think that'd be great. Awesome. Anything else on that? Well, I assume that that's not going to get done for Veterans Day 2021. Something like Memorial Day 2022 would be fantastic.
And I was thinking also,
Yeah.
while we're at Veterans Field, to throw in a veterans parking space there, seeing as Veterans Field.
I read the article that was passed. I think it's, and again, the town can do what we want, I guess. But I think the article specifically says town hall, town/city hall. But, we can always make the pitch, no doubt about it. 'Cause I parked in the one at town hall a number of times.
I did it once. I did it once to try it out, see how it fit.
Does the Jag fit in there nicely?
Actually, it's snug as a bug.
I'm sure it is. If I can get my truck in there, it's like driving the Queen Mary at times. I don't know. Okay, thank you very much. Any other business?
Just one thing, I'm not sure if the folks are aware of it, but the previous VSO for Wakefield has passed away, Hector Arena.
oh,
Yeah,
no.
I'm not sure how many folks knew Hector. Hector preceded Dave, was in Wakefield for a while, then went to work for the VA. Last I spoke with him, he was trying to get a spot for through Voc Rehab to go to medical school. I had a mutual friend reach out to me last Wednesday, actually, to let me know about it. Just, sudden death at home.
Shame.
Wow. So he was young?
50.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Yes, he was.
nice guy.
He was young.
He was young,
Yeah.
50, yeah.
Yeah, very nice guy.
I've never met him. I spoke with him at length a few times at the VA when he's working there. But I never had a chance or the opportunity to meet him.
What was his last name again?
Arena,
Arena.
ERINNA, Hector.
E-R. ERINNA?
ERINNA.
Okay.
I've been checking the obits every day. Haven't seen anything. Sometimes these get delayed based on the manner of death. It was certainly a shock. Because he was certainly easy to work with. He helped a lot of people at many stops. He was in the Navy, worked with the Air Marshal Service for a number of years, and was on the planning board down in Braintree. He got like an associate member position. So he was involved in a lot of stuff. Good guy. So, I'm going to keep looking for the obituary, see if there anything pops up, and I'll certainly try to attend depending on scheduling, etc.
Jay,
note-
wasn't
Oh, go
our
ahead, go
first
ahead.
VSO, Ryan, I believe? Wasn't he
Ryan
involved?
McLean is now the town manager in Hubbardston, Massachusetts. But I believe most recently he has been in Afghanistan, Kuwait, and
Kabul Airport. I believe he was the final troops that were left there.
Wow.
yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he he did, in fact, set up the Melrose Wakefield Saugus Veteran Services District. Because there was certainly some reluctance at the municipal level to expend the monies to fund veteran services departments, although it's the law.
Right.
According to the law, Wakefield and Saugus should have full-time VSOs, but they only have part-time VSOs, and they're part of a district. So that's how some of these towns and cities, believe that they're complying with the law.
I believe Ryan was also involved with the Wounded Warrior run there, like this past, what was it, Saturday, Sunday? The
No,
motorcycle.
that's Andrew Biggio.
Yeah,
Andrew followed Ryan, did Melrose Wakefield Saugus for a while. I believe he's a Winthrop police officer. Wrote a book called The Rifle, which I'm reading right now, and I will share with anybody after I'm done. I'm a painfully slow reader because I fall asleep while reading and have to reread everything. But I ran into him at the Medal of Honor Patriot Dinner. He was on the turnaround cruise with the Medal of Honor recipients, and the word was out, so he came to the Medal of Honor dinner with a handful of books because he had been received a number of requests from Medal of Honor recipients. It's a pretty cool book. If you don't know about it, he interviewed World War II veterans, and when he was interviewing them, he carried an M1 rifle with him, and he had them sign the rifle stock.
oh, wow.
He goes through the details their experiences, and as cliche as it sounds, I mean, this is when men were men. Some of the stuff that these guys went through, it's just unbelievable. But so if you're interested, I'll let you know when I finish the book. I'm about halfway through it now.
Is that Rick Pearson's book or is that your own book? Because Rick offered it to me to read.
No, that's my book.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
I want to say that I was at the 9/11 service. David and Christy, nice job. That was really very moving, very touching. I think you did a great job. It was very well done. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
you took the words right out of my mouth. That's the way I was going to end the meeting, but
Yep.
I certainly appreciate you being there. Sorry that I wasn't able to attend, but I heard a lot of great things about it. Well attended, well done, well run. And we're all of a certain age, so we know where we were when it happened. So
Yeah.
we'll never forget. Okay. Yeah, anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Second,
Aye.
right?
Aye.
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 Y'all have a great night. Thank you very much for a good
Good night,
meeting.
everyone.